Hey, what's going on? You're here with, I guess you're saying it's E. Millie or whatever you want to say. Hey, so what I'm gonna be doing in this session is really talking about upgrading, uh, you know, um, the watch that I got going on, and so with that being said, I'm watching a bunch of different videos. What I'm hoping to accomplish with this brainstorming is one, the setup as far as cam setup. Two, sky setup, and I might do two of them depending on. But what I really want to start off with is just um, one straight up in the sky. And the reason I want to catch that one is cloud activity, birds that might be flying through, and it may be or one or two things. It may have that 5 second delay. It might be like that, and then it may have a few videos where it's just all the way through for the whole day. And then what will happen is it will speed up, and that way we can start doing videos where it's like you can do it in 6 minutes. But yeah, but before you can do it in 6 minutes, you have to actually do it within the 24 hours, or the 48, or the 72 or 96 hours, however long it's gonna go. But yeah, the sky fish eye cam. My ideal is to have it where it's like on top of like a wind device or something, a wind device that can generate power, I guess. And then it's gonna be on the very top, and then the wind device will be powering it, and then at that point, brackets will be needed. All right. So if we work this idea, that means brackets are needed. One thing I do have to get will be one of those. I used to have them where it's like as when I was teaching, where be right over you, so you be able to see everything I'm doing, because that way you can see the image I got, where it's like, hey, I know it's not the best image, but the concept is having the fisheye cam at the very top and the wind device that's going to power it right there. And depending on how much that wind device can power it, I might even add two different cameras, where one of them is facing east, the other one's facing west. All right, where one's facing east and one's facing west, and that right there should be powering what we're doing. And the reason why it's important that it empowers it is the fact that we want it to be self-maintenance. We don't really want to have to get up there and like keep changing, the batteries. Now, one thing we can do if the wind power is not enough is somehow, some way, have a couple of solar panels up there as well. And how we can set that up, we can have a bracket that's like right there, and a bracket that has the left and the right, and then something that will weight it down, so that way when high winds come, it's not flying over there, because that does happen where you have high winds and all of a sudden that happens. So those are two kind of thought processes of how to power it, with wind or solar panels. And if we do that, I would like to know if y'all would like to ride with me on the setting up. But I'll probably do that with engine logics or something like that, where, because really I really want to be able to do strictly the bird watching, animal loving, and peace and prosperity type stuff with this one. So what I'm gonna do with this session is we're gonna spend about 30 minutes with different bird calls, and the reason why I'm doing that is so that way we can get birds to come around. While that is going on, I will be looking at bird food. That's another thing. Food supply. We're going to be looking at what's best to feed them, what's worst to feed them. And of course, we're going to design the setup. Yeah, so right now I have a bee issue. So I'm going to have to take care of this bee issue. Because right now, there's this roof needs to be fixed up. But right now, I think I know if they are there. One second, hold on. Let me take care of some business. Yeah. Before it get too big, we gonna battle it out. I'm not gonna let it grow too much. Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to get some people to help me out when it comes to this back patio. Things gonna have to change, and I know because I sprayed that little actor that was in there, now it's coming out. Yeah, you hit it with that little spray, things get moving around. You know, this is outside / inside, so yeah. Let's get some air flowing too. But yeah, I'm gonna get the air flowing in a second. So yeah, man. So my thought process will maybe even get some solar panels that's gonna be to the side, so that way, there's no need to even have to go up there and think about it. I'm gonna have to fix the roof. Going to before going to hard in painting. All right, yeah. Before I do too much as far as fixing up my area, I need to take care of my roof situation. So at this point, I can't really wait to get my box truck, because if I get my box truck, then what I can do is before I put it up and at home, I can essentially get all the pieces of equipment I need. You know, and if it can last from Mount Vernon to here, then it's all good. So yeah, as soon as I get that, because my other box truck is not going to be big enough. Well, actually it is. I'm over there playing. I can get it done with that one too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So now that I think about it, I can get that one done too. So yeah, we have to move his head around. That's good. So yeah, so I'm gonna have to fix the roof. In order to get that, I need to register the blue box ASAP. You have like a month to do it. I've been in less than a month. Design, set up, implement, monitor. So that's the stages that I'll be working with: designing a setup, implementing a setup, and monitoring the setup. So there are a few kind of different ideas I have when it comes down to the quote unquote monitoring, or trying to set it up where it's enjoyable for us to see the birds that may be here to maybe even take a little bath, the bird bath type deal. I did have a bird bath that was up for a while, and I don't know if y'all been watching the bird bath. It's nothing really too crazy. The bird bath was, but at the same time, the bird bath was something that was I appreciated it. I just felt that having to have it be powered is what's really the thing that kind of threw me off. If it wasn't one of the things where it had to be powered, now I feel like there'll be no issue, because it has to be powered. then it's always going to have some form of a battery. It's going to have to be around. And as far as my concerning is, hold on, what's up? Excuse me. All right, let's get back to the business. All right, yeah. So we fixed the roof, and we're gonna fix the roof, and then we're gonna paint it again, or do some patchwork. And then after outside that, design, setup, implement, and monitor. That's what we're talking about now. So we're at the setup stage. So we're going to be drawing blueprints out and stupid stuff like that, watching videos on how other people are doing their thing, and seeing if we want to copy it. Other thing that we did last year was do some gardening. Got some good peppers. Some animal stole my my watermelon, and you know, it was a weird looking watermelon, but it was my watermelon, and they stole my watermelon. So this year may do it a lot different as far as the setup, because I've been looking at getting like the little tinfoil, not tinfoil, but the aluminum thing, where it goes all the way out like that. And what I'm saying is, if you set that up and everything like that, that'd be pretty dope. And after that, because I have my bird tree and everything like that, I want to monitor my bird tree. And with the bird tree, what I'm thinking about doing is setting up a couple of them that are from like the house and the porch, and then some of them where they're dead on to wherever the bird is going to be, with a solar panel that will be there, and it's going to be strapped onto the same branch, and it's going to be strictly to look at the bird's activity. And because I have doves that come through, blue robins, the wrens, I have I've seen some little sparrows go through. Hawk, I've seen a couple hawks, but I don't want no hawk landing down nowhere. We good off them hawks. Go ahead and stay up there. But yeah, but when I seen the doves, and man, I ain't gonna lie, it's like when I seen that that hummingbird that came and fed and drank the nectar, that had me like, I was like really giddy. I ain't gonna lie when I seen that. I like the hummingbird, you know. But yeah. So long story short, you know, we keep doing it. We gotta do it better than what we did the year before. So this is the spring up and coming reactive, trying to create a new atmosphere for the birds. Also, a few things about birds. Birds actually help keep down the insect population, as well as them spiders you worry about. They even eat up snakes as well. So because they do that, you know, that's one reason I like them. I know last year we did have a raccoon that came through, you know, and a raccoon was actually living in my attic for a while. I figured that out, and after that I had to go ahead and hire some people to do some patchwork. You know what I mean? Sure, you know, we can't have the raccoons up in the attic, man. I'm good off that. But yeah, after that they did some more work as far as sealing up a few components that were around, you know, so because squirrels get up there too. So we did some of that work. So that might need to be done when it comes down to renovating the house, because right now, with what's going on when it comes to these gas prices, I just want to stay local. I just want to just manage whatever I got going on right now and make whatever I got beautiful, because One reason why you know, we like to move around is because we want to see pretty stuff. But if we're not gonna go nowhere, we need to make our place pretty. You know, that's the main thing. So that's where I'm at with it. Upgrades, mods, and old stuff refurbished and set up. So, yeah, that's another thing. I am gonna have to go through and see what kind of old stuff I do have for the birds and set it up where it's pretty. That's one thing that we're gonna have to do. With that being said, let's go ahead and look at a few videos. Then once we look at a few videos, I don't mind going through. Oh yeah, that's right. Let's do the bird calls. That's what we need to do. Okay, so we got going on. I said I want to do 30 minutes. That's what I want to do. At least 30 minutes.
Excuse me, I have some things I'd like to say.
Hoppers is Pixar's funniest movie ever.
Now we party.
Grab your friends because
I hear that a lot. Yeah. I do not hear that one. Yeah, I hear that ticklish. Yeah, I hear that one too. Not really. I hear that one. Yeah, I hear that one. I may have seen it, but don't even think about it. Little turkey. Saying, fear me, get away from me. Alright, let's try this one. right, so let's go ahead and get back to it. Put this on the low. Cause thing is, we still want to hear it, but at the same time, we got other things we doing. All right, so where we at? I'd like to go over 3 things before we get back to just listening to birds doing their thing. All right. I don't know what happened to it. Go here. Nope. Okay, here we go. All right, so feeding birds, a quick guide to seed types. And this is all about birds, and you can go here on your own as far as allaboutbirds.org. Give me 2 seconds. All right, there we go. So yeah, looking at it, all about birds, it gives us information, quick guides on the seed types as far as the sunflower, the stafflower, the naira or tistil, the white prosperso, the millet. I don't like the millets. I don't do millets. Shelled and cracked corn, peanuts, millet or sorghum or golden millet, red millet, flax, and others, and repast and canary seed. All right, so let's go ahead and
There are 2 kinds of sunflower, black oil and striped. The black oil seeds, oilers, have very thin shells, easy for virtually all seed-eating birds to crack open, and the kernels within have a high fat content, extremely valuable for most winter birds. Striped sunflower seeds have a thicker shell, much harder for house sparrows and blackbirds to crack open. So if you're inundated with species you'd rather not subsidize at your black oil sunflower, before you do anything else, try switching to striped sunflower.
Alright, talk to me nice now, come on.
People living in apartments or who have trouble raking up seed shells under their feeders often offer shelled sunflower. Many birds love this, as of course do squirrels, and it's expensive. Without the protection of the shell, sunflower hearts and chips quickly spoil, and can harbor dangerous bacteria, so it's important to offer no more than can be eaten in a day or 2. Sunflower is very attractive to squirrels, a problem for people who don't wish to subsidize them. Some kinds of squirrel baffles, and some specialized feeders, are fairly good at excluding them. Sunflower in the shell can be offered in a wide variety of feeders, including trays, tube feeders, hoppers, and acrylic window feeders. Sunflower hearts and chips shouldn't be offered in tube feeders where moisture can collect.
Okay, so it's the same with sunflower seeds. You don't really want the moisture to get in those. Alright, let's see if this device will finally act right. So, alright, let's go. And we go here.
Safflower. Safflower has a thick shell, hard for some birds to crack open, but is a favorite among cardinals. Some grosbeaks, chickadees, doves, and native sparrows also eat it. According to some sources, house sparrows, European starlings, and squirrels don't like safflower, but in some areas seem to have developed a taste for it. Cardinals and grosbeaks tend to prefer tray and hopper feeders, which makes these feeders a good choice for offering safflower.
You say, what's that? You say, they like trays and hopper feeders, and that's for the safflower.
According to some sources, sunflower in the shell can be offered in a wide variety of feeders, including trays, tube feeders, hoppers, and acrylic window feeders. Sunflower hearts and chips shouldn't be offered in tube feeders where moisture can collect.
Well, it sounds like we can feed
safflower has a thick,
anyway.
some gross, according cardinals and gross, back to top, Niger or thistle. Small finches including American goldfinches, lesser goldfinches, indigo buntings, pine siskins, and common redpolls often devour these tiny, black, needle-like seeds. As invasive thistle plants became a recognized problem in North America, suppliers shifted to a daisy-like plant, known as Gezosia abyssinica, that produces a similar type of small, oily, rich seed. The plant is now known as Niger or Niger, and is imported from overseas. The seeds are heat sterilized during importation to limit their chance of spreading while retaining their food value. Back to top. White proso millet. American goldfinch on a thistle seed feeder. Photo by Marciaklu Birdshare. White millet is a favorite with ground-feeding birds including quails, Native American sparrows, doves, towhees, juncos, and cardinals. Unfortunately, it's also a favorite with cowbirds and other blackbirds and house sparrows, which are already subsidized by human activities and supported at unnaturally high population levels by current agricultural practices and habitat changes. When these species are present, it's wisest to not use millet. Virtually all the birds that like it are equally attracted to black whale sunflower. Because white millet is so preferred by ground-feeding birds, it's often scattered on the ground, an excellent practice as long as no more is set out than birds can eat in a day. Low-set tray feeders with excellent drainage can be a very good choice for white millet, too. Back to top. Shelled and cracked corn. Corn is eaten by grouse, pheasants, turkeys, quails, cardinals, grosbeaks, crows, ravens, jays, doves, ducks, cranes, and other species. Unfortunately, corn has two serious problems. Corn is eaten by grouse, pheasants, turkeys, quails, cardinals, grosbeaks, crows, ravens, jays, doves, ducks, cranes, and other species.
You gotta note that. What are they talking about? A gross. Like the sea peasants. I'm really not trying to feed crows or ravens. All right. So yeah, that's a lot. Let's go ahead.
Corn is eaten by grouse, pheasants, turkeys, quails, cardinals, grosbeaks, crows, ravens, jays, doves, ducks, cranes, and other species. Unfortunately, corn has two serious problems. First, it's a favorite of house sparrows, cowbirds, starlings, geese, bears, raccoons, and deer, none of which should be subsidized by us. Second, corn is the bird food most likely to be contaminated with aflatoxins, which are extremely toxic even at low levels. Never buy corn in plastic bags, never allow it to get wet, never offer it in amounts that can't be consumed in a day during rainy or very humid weather, and be conscientious about raking up old corn. Never offer corn covered in a red dye. Corn intended for planting is often treated with fungicides, marked with red dye as a warning. It is highly toxic to humans, livestock, and all birds. Never offer buttered popcorn or any kind of microwave popcorn. Popped corn spoils quickly. Corn should be offered in fairly small amounts at a time on tray feeders. Don't offer it in tube feeders that could harbor moisture. Back to top. Corn intended for planting is often treated with fungicides, marked with red dye as a warning. It is highly toxic to humans, livestock, and all birds. Never offer buttered popcorn or any kind of microwave popcorn. Popped corn spoils quickly. Corn should be offered in fairly small amounts at a time on tray feeders. Don't offer it in tube feeders that could harbor moisture. Back to top. Peanuts. Peanuts are very popular with jays, crows, chickadees, titmice, woodpeckers, and many other species, but are also favored by squirrels, bears, raccoons, and other animals that should not be subsidized. Like corn, peanuts are very popular with jays, crows, chickadees, titmice, woodpeckers, and many other species, but are also favored by squirrels, bears, raccoons, and other animals that should not be subsidized. Like corn, peanuts have a high likelihood of harboring aflatoxins, so must be kept dry and used up fairly quickly. Peanuts in the shell can be set out on platform feeders or right on a deck railing or window feeder as a special treat for jays, if they reach them before the squirrels do. If peanuts or mixtures of peanuts and other seeds are offered in tube feeders, make sure to change the seed frequently, especially during rainy or humid weather, completely emptying out and cleaning the tube every time. Back to top. Milo or sorghum. Milo is a favorite with many western ground-feeding birds. On Cornell Lab of Ornithology seed preference tests, Steller's jays, curve-billed thrashers, and Gamble's quails preferred Milo to sunflower. In another study, house sparrows did not eat Milo, but cowbirds did. Milo should be scattered on the ground or on low tray feeders. Stop offering it if you're subsidizing cowbirds. Back to top. Golden millet, red millet, flax, and others. These seeds are often used as fillers in packaged birdseed mixes, but most birds shun them. Waste seed becomes a breeding ground for bacteria and fungus, contaminating fresh seed more quickly. Make sure to read the ingredients list on birdseed mixtures, avoiding those with these seeds. These seeds are often used as fillers in packaged birdseed mixes. Golden millet, red millet, flax, and others. These seeds are often used as fillers in packaged birdseed mixes, but most birds shun them. Waste seed becomes a breeding ground for bacteria and fungus, contaminating fresh seed more quickly. Make sure to read the ingredients list on birdseed mixtures, avoiding those with these seeds. In particular, if a seed mix has a lot of small, red seeds, make sure they're Milo or sorghum, not red millet. Back to top. Rapeseed and canary seed. These two seed types don't offer much over the more widespread seeds. A few birds do eat rapeseed, including quails, doves, finches, and juncos. If you're not getting these, the rapeseed will be left to spoil. Canary seed is very popular with house sparrows and cowbirds, birds that many people would prefer not to attract. Other species that eat canary seed are equally happy with sunflower, so this is a better all-around choice.
Right, let's go. Let's get to it. So 7. I hate when it does that. So it's covering what I need to be looking at. Alright. So it says 7 foods that help backyard birds survive winter according to experts. So my thing is the fact that we're no longer in winter, but we're in spring. But at the same time, there's good information to know. So we're gonna figure it out.
Feeding. The birds is always a fun way to help support local wildlife populations. Plus, winter is a time when birds have slightly different nutrient requirements, and you can help. Birds shift their diets based on their needs when the weather turns cold. They are no longer thriving on high-protein insects which they feed on themselves and to their young during the season of plenty in spring, says Rebecca Rylander, science coordinator for the Rio Grande joint venture at American Bird Conservancy. Instead, they are trying to maintain fat reserves to get them through longer spells of cold weather and fewer resources. While many birds can slow down their metabolism at night and enter into various degrees of torpor, they are still constantly burning fat to survive and keep their body temperatures warm. Thus, seeds and nuts become some of the favorite foods of many birds further north during the colder months of the year, says Rylander. Setting up various feeding stations throughout your yard is an easy way to help all birds get through winter. Hopper feeders, tube feeders, and platform feeders accommodate a variety of species. The more different types of feeders, setting up various feeding stations throughout your yard is an easy way to help all birds get through winter. Hopper feeders, tube feeders, and platform feeders accommodate a variety of species. The more different types of feeders and seeds you provide, the greater diversity of birds you'll attract, says Robert Pierce, Ph.D., State Extension Fisheries and Wildlife Specialist at the University of Missouri. It allows you to observe and enjoy both the resident birds that don't migrate and many other species that have traveled a long distance. To keep your birds healthy, make sure to clean the feeders regularly to prevent the growth of mold or bacteria, says Pierce. Use hot soapy water and a brush to scrub the corners, rinse well, let the feeder air dry, and refill with fresh seed. You'll also want to make sure to protect birds from window collisions because more than 1 billion birds in the U.S. die each year when they accidentally fly into windows, says Rylander. Birds can't see glass, and fatal collisions occur due to reflections and because the surface looks like a clear passageway. Use deterrents such as hanging cords or adhesive dots to break up the reflection so birds don't inadvertently fly into. Use deterrents such as hanging cords or adhesive dots to break up the reflection so birds don't inadvertently fly into your windows. Black whale sun. Black whale sunflower seed. If you want to attract the biggest array of visitors, opt for the seed. This may be the most. Many different species readily eat black whale sunflower seeds: chickadees, titmice, cardinals, nuthatches, and sparrows, just to name a few groups. The seeds are easy enough for most birds to crack open, but they are also hard enough to be stored or cached for later. Suet. Even species that are insectivores. Suet. Suet is an excellent choice in cold climates because it provides birds with an extremely fat-rich option, which is essential when they are burning off reserves to stay warm. Like black whale sunflower seed. Read the label to broken peanuts. Read the label to ensure you're buying suet with suet rendered beef fat and safflower seed. Cardinals, Niger thistle. Thistle is a favorite of finches of broken peanuts. Woodpeckers, chickadees, titmice, and nuthatches love shelled and broken peanuts, says Pierce. Make sure they're unsalted, and be aware that squirrels also adore peanuts. Safflower seeds. Safflower seeds typically are pricier than black whale sunflower seed. Niger thistle. Thistle is a favorite of a special feeder that these smaller birds cling. White proso millet. Ground-feeding birds such as juncos, sparrows, and this seed also is hummingbird nectar.
Yeah, man.
If you live somewhere where hummingbirds overwinter, such as in the southern U.S. During cold spells, it is also hummingbird nectar. If you live somewhere where hummingbirds overwinter, such as in the southern U.S. and in coastal regions, leave a feeder out with sugar water. Find the best recipe for homemade nectar here. During cold spells, these hummingbird feeders become important for their survival, as these birds also burn an impressive amount of fat to stay alive, says Rylander.
All right, so what I'm about to do is we're going to create a list of Atlanta birds, and then I'm going to have it. I'm gonna have it read out. All right. So with this list. All right, so what we're gonna do? I wish that I can get up there. I guess let's do it like this. Reading from the top. Oh man, hold on. You know how it go. Alright, so this was going to happen. We're going to essentially have a 10-minute timer, and then after the 10-minute timer, we're going to get back to it. Alright, by that time, I should have something figured out, and, as far as making it real fluid, like, so until then, let me go ahead and get this timer back right. Ten-minute timer. All right. So give me just a few more seconds. All right. How about this? We're gonna run a 3-minute. All right, this time we're going to have the same kind of timer effect. What's going to happen is eventually I'm going to chop this up. This video we're making right now, I'm going to chop it up and essentially make timers out of it. So yeah, that's what's going on right now with this. You know, so. Oh man, we have to do one more. All right, this time, this is gonna be the last one, and I'm gonna take my web camera off, so that way we can get a good 3 minutes, and then once we get that, again, I'm gonna chop this up later.
This is your brain when you're struggling to focus. And this is your brain when you're in the zone. Again.
Yeah, we'll work with a different vibe. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take my face off. We set back the timer. 3-minute clock. These are all the birds that are local to Atlanta, Georgia. All right, before we do leave, let's go ahead and check out one more thing, just so it's in black and white. Eventually, I will. I am going to be doing some more videos. It's just that we're going to break this up. So this is the birds of banana, and if you want, you can freeze it. Purposely scrolling down slow. I love a good Towhee, I ain't gonna lie. They're like my favorite ones. Going back up. Birds of banana. With that being said, yeah, we're gonna fly out of here.